Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's currently 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and for those who don't know, I have a very bad headache. Um, so we're going to be taking it a lot easier this stream. I'm feeling a bit better than earlier. Basically, like after I ate dinner, I went to like just go hang out outside for a little bit, and I was like, oh, I have a bit of a headache. I hope that doesn't become an issue. And I was like, I shouldn't. I don't need to take medicine. I'll be fine. And then like 20 minutes later I'm like suffering, and so like before stream I took some medicine, I chilled out in the dark for a bit. It's still hurting, but I'm hoping like as we get into the groove of things it'll calm down. Worst case, we cut the stream, do it tomorrow. Actually, we're not streaming tomorrow, but yeah. So but for now, without any further ado, let us get warmed up. I feel like this is somehow related to like sinuses or something, but I like took allergy medicine today. Then again, it did mostly start whenever I was outside, so who knows what could have caused that. But it's one of those headaches where like you're like it's not that bad, and then you like stand up and you're like oh shoot. Also, I think I have hiccups, so that's why I'm going to be muting a lot. Headaches and hiccups. That's the tune of this stream. It sucks because I wanted to take some time to draw before stream. I've had an idea that's like been in my head today and yesterday and the day before. Sadly, I haven't been able to get a chance to slow down and put it on paper, but how did Gravel on the Fidge app know to message me right as stream starts? It's a bit intrusive, Gravel. I won't lie. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. That's tough. I knew I should have checked. I was like, it's fine. No, that's bad. That's really bad. Oof. I knew something was off. Is that off as well? I feel like I just lied to myself even more. I didn't even check it, to be honest. That's so yeah, that's probably just make tricks my brain. What am I high today? Like, dude. I think I am in the sense that I have a headache, but so I wouldn't really call that high, I guess. But goodness, at least it's like somewhat aesthetically pleasing. But that is really trippy to look at. Oof. Definitely not a good day for the ellipses, though. Yo, thank you for asking, Kat. It's getting better. I think. I think the calm music and just chilling drawing is helping it out. How's your day going so far? That was a weird cadence. How is your day going so far? There we go. At the edge of my paper right there. Yikes. Is your phone any more charged today? Jill got some drawing done, and you're watching One Piece. That sounds like an awesome day, Kat. What episode are you up to? If you don't mind sharing, what did you work on today with drawing? Charging right now? Heck yeah. Episode 841, doing Brent's gesture course. Huge. Are you approaching it any differently this time? Just because I'm silly, I feel like adding that last one in there. That actually is somewhat satisfying to look at. I'm not too unhappy with that one. Let's do a plain. I feel like I need to improve my lines. I did some of Brent's courses before, so I'm taking my time with this one. Gotcha, gotcha. Are you getting any critique from either Brent's course or other people? If I'm stuck, I can just ask for some help on the Discord. This is part of your quad ability work. Nice. Sounds like you got a good game plan going. What do you hope to get out of the gesture course? And while you answer that, good warm up. We're gonna head to BRB now, do 2 minutes of ads. Then we're gonna come back and work on our 241st or second, 242nd cylinder. Be right back. Alrighty, we should be back. You did join Crew 50. Are you this is and forgive me if this is like a bold assumption, but this is a lot of change, right? You're entering 2 new things of accountability, of which you'll be doing a lot more drawing. Do you think you're ready? Are you a little bit nervous? And saying yes is completely valid, or no is completely valid. If I was in your situation, it is a lot more to take on, but I think it'll be fun. Oh, where did I put my... Oh, let me go look for my... I guess I put it in the wrong place. I'll be right back. I also just realized the reason why the pages, or like the edges of my pages are bent, are because of my art binder where I keep all my art. I thought it was just because like the paper bends over time. Not nervous. I just want to get better at drawing. I feel so behind you guys skill wise. Well, first off, I'm not well-rounded, knowledgeable enough about art to make claims of who's good at something, who's not, and especially to compare people. And neither are you. Neither of us are good enough at art, or I should say experienced enough at art to make assumptions of if someone is better or not, right? So don't let that bog you down. Don't feel that, because there's always going to be someone who's better, quote unquote, than us in every capacity. And so wanting to learn art for the sake of becoming as good as someone is just as hollow as doing it because you want likes on Instagram, right? Yeah, it's a subjective and external validation for why we do something instead of an internal, more objective or grounded reason, which is I like art. I just haven't been making projects this year when I would fix that. Now, I think that is a much better qualifier. Is it still subjective technically, but like I feel like that's a good one. I want to do more. I want to do more in the year, and I think that's a noble one. So, I'm not sure if you're drawing right now or not, but if you are, let's have some fun drawing for an hour a day. Get to it. Let's make sure we use the correct fine liner. I am really, really glad to see you in Crew 50, and even though I'm not in quadability, squadability, whatever it's called, I'm also glad to see that you've done so much for yourself to ensure that you have the best chances of success. I draw 1 hour a day, no more, no more less. Don't want to burn out. I wouldn't say the cause of burnout is necessarily strictly more or strictly less than, because like 1 hour is completely objective or subjective. Once again, the subjectivity, but like some days you may need to draw a little bit less, and some days you'll be excited to draw more, and neither of those are sins, right? Watching your streams instead of sleeping. Go to sleep, Cal. Thank you for stopping by, but sleep is very important. Go get some sleep. But like, Cal, like, don't. It's cool if if you go over or under. I found that burnout in my life is when I go beyond my means to do something. So there have been like pits of like creative burnout where I do too much, right? Example of that is working on YouTube videos or personal videos or coding projects where I'm so excited to do it, but I neglect important things in my life or give myself helpful breaks. Like, there's been days where I've coded straight for like 8 hours. Not straight, okay, probably like lunch in between. But like really bad days like that. Yeah, some days I draw for hours on end. Next day I'm like, nah. I do think holding yourself accountable is a really good idea. Just, word of advice, one that you don't have to necessarily listen to or anything. It's just, don't be too strict with it, right? That is a good realization. I think balance is found, though, not through hard ideals like that, but instead figuring out who you are and what you like and what works best for you. When you balance something, right? Like, I know this is a stupid allegory, but like, hear me out. When you, I don't know why I grabbed two of these. When you balance something, it tips from left to right, right? And I know it's stupid, but like setting a solid hour, it could be like this, and you're stuck there. No, you're cool. You're cool. We're talking about just, the process of learning art with good and bad habits, or just things to watch out for. You did not interrupt something. You're totally fine. But like, if we just lock ourselves and say an hour and exactly an hour, then we're kind of frozen. If we set a minimum, then we're allowed to teeter a little bit to find our kind of like natural equilibrium in terms of things we do and don't like. And of course, if we never set boundaries, then we topple off, right? So it's either you're stuck and you'll fall because you set harsh boundaries that aren't necessarily helpful for you. You introduce too much freedom and you fall off, or you give yourself the room to play around and figure it out. It depends on your mood. I get that. Now, a question for you. Actually, no, I'm not sure if that's a related question. But yeah, TLDR, just be careful with the hour, right? If you want to truly do more, do more. If you want to do a little bit less one day, that's okay. Just hold yourself accountable. All that good stuff. I harp on this because I've, in the process of both, my schooling, I guess, and just being in the Drawbox community and the art community, I've seen every year an increasing number of people who set these just abject, just weird, like circumstances for themselves, like constraints that they just don't need. And I mean, I have an hour timer going, but I've easily learned that it's more of a suggestion. It definitely does keep me accountable most days. And an hour is basically what I can sacrifice in a day, but I wasn't feeling you for 30 minutes. Nice. See, yeah, that's a really nice. And yeah, the analog I was going to do to this is like, think about the people who go to the gym. They don't necessarily want to go every day, but they do. However, that doesn't really align with the time prospect, because for me, I have my workout plan set specifically so there's easier days and harder days, or like I can choose. I have more sets or less sets, basically, and like different variations on days that I'm tired and I don't feel well, or that I'm like super energetic and with it. And that makes it the most fun for me and approachable. Yeah, it's like, not to name anyone specifically, but we've all seen instances of this in the Drawbox community where they're like, I'm going to draw 500 boxes instead, 700. And like, it comes from a really good place, which is passion. They want to get good at art and they're willing to sacrifice so much for it. And that's admirable in its own way. But we cannot, let our passions drive us too crazy. We gotta match our passion with some realism. A little bit. Enough to ground ourselves and give ourselves direction. But I do not think I need to tell you guys that. Preaching to the choir in some sense. I'm going to do Peter Han's sketching course after. I'm excited because Peter Han is like the father of Drawbox. True. What do you hope to gain from his sketching course? And a tougher question. Why go to Peter Han when you've already been in Drawbox for a while? Or, Not necessarily been in Drawbox for a while, but you know what I mean. You've encountered Drawbox. Learn more about 3D form. It makes sense. I think the most I've ever gained from like learning about form or anything was lesson 4 or 5, and I definitely have a lot more to go. But those 2 lessons did so much for me. Especially, I think just like my critical thinking for art and how I approach problems. That's probably the biggest, one of the bigger things I got from that. I wouldn't say the biggest. I think the biggest was just like rotating forms and space, and like getting better with contour lines. But getting used to like breaking those things down, not just like complex forms, but problems in art. How am I going to achieve this? You know, like I said, I have a long ways to go, but being able to scratch the surface with that and Drawbox giving me that opportunity is very nice. Nice. It's a bit rectangular. Oops. We can blame all the mistakes I make this stream. We can blame the headache. I'm actually gonna go take a sip of water real quick. I really hope this isn't. It's gonna fall. Dang it. Already be right back. We're back, by the way. I'm not sure if I prefaced that. I don't know why I got distracted while drinking my water, looking at my calendar. I set up my like big whole semester calendar, and there's a social event I really want to go to, but I also really want to be done with 250 cylinders challenge. So we'll see. Sorry guys, I can't hang out. I gotta throw my cylinders tonight. Actually, now that I think about it, we can delay stream for that. We do one of the notorious 8:30 streams. Honestly, this semester I don't want to do 8:30 streams at all, cause like I'm now waking up consistently at 7, easy peasy at 7, and I don't want to like. Oof, wow, headache really hurts. Whoa. Um, I don't want to like. Yeah, I can't go to your party. I'm doing homework. Shout out to the friends that invite you, anyways, though. Sadly, cat, given my headache, I'm gonna be. This is a good exercise, though. Like, look at the stream. The streamer has a headache. He's playing very calm music. So it's like probably a sign that we're gonna just keep to the calm music. That's those are the tells you should look for. So if you ever see us, Kat, I think the best time to ask is if we're ever like a high octane stream, we're having fun, we're not too serious or too focused, and we're already playing like kind of loud, sillier music. Those are the signs to look out for. I have a story time for today, a very short one, but I think I'm gonna wait for if more people join. If we get to like later into the stream and no new people are joining, I'll just save it for another stream or tell it. I'm saving it. It's not like a crazy story or anything, but I'm saving it just because I don't want to have to tell it twice. The 15. Yeah, you were having a very Ratatouille day. Did you know Germa played the Ratatouille game? I think we've talked about this. Yo! Oh my god, I am like suck at talking today. Thank you very much. Do you care? I already asked this. Do you care if I call you the other name, Arthropods and Chill? I know I think I've asked this before and I forgot the answer. Is it cool if I call you like your other account's name or? Because I'm cool with it, whatever. And thank you for popping in. Okay, cool. In fact, okay, that's perfect timing. Story time. I was holding off a story time until we got like another person in this stream, but it's story time now. I don't know why, but this semester, I think it's because like this summer, I really, for better or for worse, isolated myself. Like I was just kind of in my office for most of the day, every day. Good or bad, you guys decide, right? But I've had like a really hard time, not necessarily introducing myself or talking to people, but like my interactions are just much more awkward, I guess I'd say. Like I've been meeting a lot of new people like I do every semester and talking to my professors, and a lot of these are great, helpful conversations. But like I've noticed I raise my hand a lot less in classes, or stuff like that. I've become much more of a quieter person, which I don't necessarily hate, right? But like that all culminated in today where in my philosophy class where we're encouraged to do group discussions and stuff. I had a really fun discussion with some of the people near me. And when everyone was packing up, I was staying at the desk to like write down some extra notes. And so I was like really focused, and the girl in front of me, she goes, "Hey, nice meeting you, Cav. Like really good talk that we had today. Thank you." And that was like a lot of words when I was already writing something down. So like I look up, look down, look up, look down, look up. I'm like, "Thank you." She like makes a face, like a very surprised, like, "Oh god, this guy's weird." I was laughing, like I packed up and like left. I like laughing so hard afterwards. I don't like it was so fast in my mind because I didn't like expect anyway. Yeah, I know, right? It feels like a Monday. Um, I like, and I feel so bad because she was like being really nice and saying thank you for the conversation we had, which is rare to get out of any class, let alone people say that, right? And I go, thank you. Oh yeah, Sadie is here on a Tuesday. Shout out. Heck yeah. I hope Sadie got 2 days off, like double relaxation. 1 day off for Labor Day and 1 day off for on break. Okay, gotcha. Still, I watched the amygdala clip dump. Sadie, thank you very much for curating that. Amygdala compilation. Just forget words and sound out of breath all the time when I have to socialize. Same here. It's weird because like once we get past the 5 minute mark of talking, I'm completely normal. I'm like a completely normal, well-adjusted conversational being. But in that first 5 minutes where I'm like learning the social cues and like the do's and don'ts of our little sphere, I'm like really weird. I'm totally very weird. And it doesn't help that like I'm pretty sure everyone else in my major and a lot of people at my university just have that same, like we're all nerds, right? And so every interaction with new people is very strange and very awkward. Like today when I almost fell asleep when the maintenance guy showed up, which would have been a very, very scary thing. He barges in there. Like I was trying to talk up to him because he came and fixed some extra stuff for us, which was very kind. I was like, "You want some Powerade, man?" Or like, "We got some stuff in the fridge." And he was like, "Nah, I'm good." And we both just kind of sat there in silence. And I was like, "Okay." I was like fiddling with my phone, like trying to be like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'll check my email." I haven't looked at my messages recently. Let's see if there's anything there. I was like refreshing the Discord. But then we got into a good conversation about the fact that he doesn't actually drink. He only drinks water most of the time. But his girlfriend, she drinks soda. So learn something new today. A lot of the maintenance staff at my apartment complex have been extremely talkative and in a good way. Like I went to the elevator and there's this like, she seemed like a total badass. She like, I don't know, she just had that vibe about her that she like completely owns she's just a boss, right? And like I share the elevator with her and she just starts talking about like different cleaning supplies. Did I say bathroom? I meant to say elevator. I was in the elevator with her. Did I say bathroom? And she was just talking about like different cleaning supplies for like the half minute that we were in the elevator. And she's like super nice. I said, I thank God. that headache's still there, just a tiny bit. I want coffee ice cream. I don't know why. Like, so there's an ice cream social in a couple days that conflicts with stream, so I'm debating on going. Um, they don't even have coffee ice cream, so I don't even want to go. But if they did have coffee ice cream, I would be abandoning the stream in a second. I'm sorry. Uh-oh, do we have enough room? I sure hope so. They have like they have all like the base flavors except for chocolate. Instead of chocolate, they have Rocky Road. I've never had Rocky Road, but I just want chocolate. Why? I'm whatever. Bring coffee grounds and make your own coffee right in front of them. Get behind the counter and start. They do have Oreo ice cream though, and that is gangster. I don't like Rocky Road because of the nuts. I'm 50 middle of the road on a, because like dip cones with nuts on them. Oh my god, amazing. I love that. Then again, I'm just not a huge fan of nut flavors in general. Kavel, answer honestly, do I sound like a child? I'm not going to weigh in on that conversation because I don't want to. I don't want to contribute or instigate that. I am Switzerland. I think cheeseburgers pair well with fries. My sister got strawberry ice cream. So, okay. I've had strawberry ice cream like once and I remember not liking it that much. I think I need to try it again though. Because my sister swore by some strawberry ice cream. It just feels gimmicky. Okay, crazy take. Chocolate milk comes from chocolate cow. Vanilla milk comes from normal cow. Vanilla ice cream comes from vanilla cow. Oreo comes from Oreo cow. Where the hell does strawberry cow come from, right? I like the taste of the strawberry ice cream, but I can't stand the strawberries in it because the texture. Yeah. She got like without that in there. I could not do the little strawberry chunks. Albino cows. Sometimes YouTube sprinkles in both horse and like cow content. It's usually like cow core or horse core videos. Because their skin is pink. I never knew that. Shoot. I learned that albino ravens are a thing the other day, and they look so freaking cool. Sorry. And like, it then gives me the urge to be like, I want to own a horse and or cow. But there will never be a moment in my life where I have the faculties to maintain a horse and or cow. That's how it works for horses, so don't quote me on this. Hey, I believe it. They're close enough. I want a bunny. I could get behind that. You know, Kat, I could totally see you being a bunny owner. They're so expensive, so much. Yeah. And like behaviorally, like I don't get it. These people are making these videos of this horse like throwing a temper tantrum, right? Which is funny, but that's also like a several 100-pound actual just muscular machine that if it just decided to one day, you're dead. I'd love to own horses again someday, but I don't know if that'll happen. I think you mentioned the other day, are you or I was thinking, I think Soko used to do it or something. Your horse bit you in the face once. Oh my god. That's the thing. Because like I haven't heard of horse related deaths or even major injuries, but I definitely know that like there are rules. There are rules with horses that you do not cross for your safety. She used to charge me to kick me with feeding too. Oh my gosh. Was this just like a thing out of excitement or was it like a form of aggression? That she was a rude girl. Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say that's if that's like the nicest horse ever, then I would be worried. But she grew out of it. Okay, gotcha. Do horses get sassy when they're in their like teens? Do they have like terrible twos and such? She used to intimidate my friends by stalking them.
Peter, the horse is here.
Yo, what's up, James? Welcome. Yeah, female horses are the sad. I guess it was just like a misunderstanding with me. I expected like male horses because like, oh my gosh, and a bear mug and Jim's appearance. Dang it, I should have held off on my funny story. Too bad. I'm never going to tell it again. Don't worry though, I'll be socially awkward tomorrow and I'll have a new story tomorrow. Tell it again. You know what? I will tell it again and I'll tell it much more concisely. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I will. Delano's bullying you. Explode. What did Bear say the other day? Throw cannonballs at him. launch cannonballs at him. But the story is, I'm a socially awkward person for like the first 5 minutes. Then after like I get to meet you, we're chilling. I'm like a well-adjusted normal person. Hopefully. But today we had a debate in our philosophy class, and it went from like we had a little groups and then we had a big group debate. And the girl in front of me, like our whole group was tossing around points. And after class, she like when I'm staying, writing some notes or whatever, and she's getting up to leave, and she says, "Hey, Cav, it was wonderful meeting you. Thank you for the good conversation." And that was a lot of words, if you can't tell. A lot of words very fast for when I was not paying attention. So I like look up at her, look down at my notes to like comprehend, look up at her again, look down, look up, and I go like, "Thank you," and then look back down, like. Oh my god, dude. And I've been thinking about this all day of how terribly I embarrassed myself. And like I think she made a face. I'm like 30% sure she made a face. But yeah. Literally all of today I've been thinking about that and like every other awkward moment in my life ever. Oh my god. Maybe that's why I had the headache. I've just been thinking about every time I've been awkward in my entire life. I have to listen to this again. Guess we're never playing Life is a Highway. It's crazy that I tell a silly little story twice, and I am the villain. But Kat asks for Life is a Highway and Le Festine every single day. And she's vindicated. Vindicated? I don't know. Some fancy word. I just asked for one song. I once went to hug a random stranger at a family party because I thought because I was in a rush and it was so awkward. Oh my gosh. Or like when people come to hug you and you're like icky gross and you're like, please don't. Accept the side hug and leave, The kiss on the cheek. I've never done the kiss on the cheek. I have one friend who hates hugs, loves my one friend who hates hugs loves to give me hugs. Ah. That's your certificate of authenticity right there. Oh my god, my stomach hurts. Dude, I am falling apart today. Like, I don't know what's here, give me a second. Oh my god. I'm chewing some Toms. Thank you, thank you. I always like I have a tendency, and I think it's just because I'm around more people, and so I just get sick from being around more people. And I mean, college students are a petri dish, right? So there's probably some disease I contracted by sitting too close to everybody. PSA. Here's another story of today. Please brush your teeth. I'm not going to say the story because I feel like I'd be like insulting someone. Just please brush your teeth. If you yawn a lot and sit close to me, brush your teeth. Thank you. End of segment. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of energy right there. It was the Tums that made me do it. I brush my teeth. Good. I want a Germa toothbrush that sings the Germa toothbrush song. Brush, 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 brush your teeth. I don't know the rest. I don't even think that was the correct intro to it. You know, I've actually, weirdly enough, my like coping mechanism with this semester, and all of its chaos that it's already imbued into my life, is thinking a lot about the T Merchant How comic that I one day would like to create. And I think I have like the overarching premise of the story. My voice sounds deeper. It's because I am taking performance enhancing drugs every day. No, I'm kidding. Does that make your voice deeper? I feel like it would. I can talk in a more like slightly flamboyant way for the rest of the stream. Actually, no, that one. Whatever. Okay, sorry. Odd question. Do you brush your tongue? I know people. Yes, I do. I saw that dude on TikTok with like the little scrapey device for his tongue, and it was like, oh my god, gotta go. Delano's kidnapping me to watch Blue Lock already. Have fun. Oh my goodness. My thing's stuck. What's up, Rise? Oh my gosh, everyone's stopping by. But yeah, maybe my voice sounds deeper because I messed with some of the settings because we moved. This new apartment has a lot better acoustics. Some hanging foam. Did you say femboy? I did not say femboy. sorry, flamboyant. God. Oh god. What's up, Bryce? Perfect timing, man. Oh jeez. It's a nice little blessing to have everyone stop by tonight. Oof, my initial guess was pretty far off. There we go. Trying to think about the other shenanigans today. My white cheddar cheese Cheez-Its are gone. Was it like 3 streams ago that you got an entire new box of them? I feel like you need to ration those out a little bit. Last stream. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, Cat. You could have easily said 7 streams ago. I'd be like, okay, that's a reasonable time to eat an entire box of Cheez-Its. Which I mean, hey, respect. You know, Cheez-Its are great, but actually, you finished your last bits today. Well, I'm not sure. That's what I assumed. I didn't assume you ate all of them in a singular day. Or like half day. GG. Oof, this was very rectangular. I could actually... This is more square on this side. I'm somewhat tempted do that. However, I made my bed. I'm gonna lie in it. I'm gonna deal with it by. Oh frick. Ooh. Oh yeah. I blame the curvature of the page and the earth for my line bending right there. Wait for that to dry. Nice. I while my headache was starting, I was sitting on the balcony of my apartment looking at the clouds. And man, clouds are just exceptional. There was a really sincere moment I shared with my roommate the other day. We were driving back from a friend's house, and um, there's like these huge clouds in the horizon. He said, I almost like to pretend that those clouds are mountains. Because, like, the notion of living somewhere where, like, literally off at the horizon, there's these gigantic. Oh, thank you. It's an iPhone 16. That's what I took it on. But yeah, the notion that there's just these giant mountains in the distance in the horizon, and I get the pleasure of looking at those every day. And I said, I'm gonna just pretend that they are for a second. And he said, we might as well. And I don't know why it was like, it seems a bit, I don't know, like a word for empty right there. But like, I truly mean it when like that kind of changed my perspective of like, at least for now, we'll imagine that they're mountains. Because what's the difference? We'll never go see them. We'll never go climb them. But they are mighty beautiful. And so, for the sake of enjoying today a little bit more, we're just going to pretend. It's a harmless lie. It's very, Quixotic. I forgot how to pronounce it, but like Don Quixote, right? Quixotic, yeah, whatever. Because like on the horizon, what more could you ask for than either like the ocean or mountains? And I'd rather mountains than an ocean, but if I could have both and be in somewhere like South Africa or um Madagascar, I feel like has those, or New Zealand. I've always wanted to visit New Zealand. I've heard that everything is ridiculously expensive, or not everything, but many things are. Did you watch the Madagascar movie growing up? I did. It's a very silly movie, but it holds a special place in my heart. I remember not liking Alex the Lion too much. Whatever the zebra's name was, he was my favorite. Madagascar 2's peak. Weirdly enough, in my adult memory, um, all I can remember of Madagascar, Marty, hell yeah. All I can remember of Madagascar is the Blaze the movie reviewer, I think that's his name. Um, where he goes, Alex the lion, what are you doing here? And I just love that video so much. Alex the lion. Mario is taking a pee. Like, what a legend. What an internet icon. I think it's Blaze the movie reviewer. I'll have to look it up in a bit. That is some like good internet lore right there. Of course, I thought the penguins were cool. I never watched the penguin movie that they made. Uh, so call me a fake fan. You had the Madagascar game for Xbox. You had all the gimmicky movie games, didn't you? Ratatouille, Madagascar. Were those games even good? Like not like trying to trash them, like legitimate question, you know. Were they good or did they like were they comparable to like the Lego video games, which are like iconic? You had Madagascar Carts, that's a game? Wow. I want to play a really pretty song. Are you guys okay with that? Yeah, you're gonna be okay with that. Don't worry. We're gonna play a really pretty song by Haruka Nakamura called Hallelujah. Never mind, they have new singles that I haven't listened to yet, so we're gonna listen to these. I had a blast as a kid. That's all you need, yeah. I wouldn't expect those games to be like critically acclaimed and all that, but what was your favorite movie game in your opinion? I think the only quote unquote movie game I ever played was like Lego Star Wars or Lego Indiana Jones. Ratatouille, easy. Hey, welcome, Charlie. And Ace. Hope you're doing well. Man, everyone's stopping by this stream. We're very lucky tonight. I wonder how like some of the older frequenters like wow, this song's very intense. New apartment? Yes, sir. Moved out of my old one from last semester. I'm only going to be here for about a year. And then I got to figure it out. But I'll probably like the goal is to get a job and then just move to that location. Or if I'm remote, I'll be moving back to my home. Only a year, yep. I like it a lot. This is an amazing apartment. It is, to be honest, living a bit beyond my means. But it is great. My roommate's awesome. Location is phenomenal. It's extreme. My microwave works, you know, like subtle things that you, the AC is great. My only complaint is that I have an upstairs neighbor now, but like that has not caused me any issues yet. And parking is expensive, which upsets me. I think in hopping apartments though, moving frequently, I've reduced a lot of my personal belongings to things I only absolutely need or want. And that has made me a lot happier because I'm much more organized. All that good stuff. My old microwave, the plate didn't spin, like the little dish. And then also my old apartment, the stoves. It was an electric stove, but it had the coils instead of the flat top, which meant debris would get underneath the coils and smoke. The smoke alarm would also go off frequently. The vent for the microwave barely even worked. A lot of the like parts of our fridge were just broken. It was a very inconvenient fridge to clean. Our dishwasher did not work like at all and flooded several times. Never used the oven there that much. They never cleaned like the vents, so there was so much dust in my room. This place I've like tried dusting and there's nothing here. Our washing machine or our dryer at my old apartment caught on fire, and the washer was prone to just not working. Like the dial on it wouldn't work. The Ethernet cord in my room didn't work, so I was on Wi-Fi. You have a toaster / fryer oven thingy. Ah, I gotcha. A toaster. Interesting. Alrighty, let's do an ellipse. Actually, I'm gonna take a sip of water and then we'll do our ellipses. Cool. Yeah, this new apartment is great. Oh, they won't email me my utility bill, and I keep calling them, and no one's picking up. So that's also the other problem of this apartment. But I think it's just logistical issues on their side. Oh, I have not yet. I'll make sure to do that though. Thank you for reminding me, Kat. That's a good one. This music's getting a little bit intense. I like it, but definitely not fitting the vibes of this stream. There we go. Can you play Japanese music? This is Japanese music. Waiting for this to dry. Should we take like a giant break in doing the 250 cylinder challenge? Because so we're on cylinder 400 242, right? Which means we have 8 cylinders left, and we're also on day 92 of the 250 cylinder challenge, which means we have 8 days left. So we could wait till stream 500 and be done on the 100th stream of 250 cylinders. Well, we're only 8 away, so like that's And that's the thing, like, I don't see much of a use in constantly like challenging myself with like different stuff all the time. Like I've never been one for constantly switching the subject. I'm drawing what I want. And I'm happy with it. Sure, I could like get 100 billion times faster by doing like all the special techniques and stuff, but what would Luffy do in this situation? I don't know. He's not very smart. That weirdo's sadly not a not a moral compass I'd like to follow. Yikes. True. But like ever since, I started watching more Zapata and Draftsman, I'm happy with the pace I'm learning at. And if I'm not, I'll do more. But for now, like the fact that I can still get in school, work on YouTube videos, exercise, and then draw at the end of the day, like that's a jam-packed day. I'm not gonna strain myself too much for min-maxing other stuff. You're looking to buy a house? Heck yeah. Dude, you're moving up in the world. Hell yeah. Best of luck in your search. This was okay. Poor line work, but I think conceptually we're quite there. I have terrible posture. I need to fix that. I'm like slouching. Has Uncomfortable ever done the 250 cylinder box challenge? I mean, he's probably definitely drawn more than 250 boxes and cylinders in his lifetime, but I wonder if he's ever like done it entirely. It would be moot and like a waste of time given how busy he is, but I think that question has probably crossed every draw boxer's mind at some point of like, I'd like to see him do it, but cool. So we're going to call it there, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. As a quick review, I just should have pushed this a little bit more, like the curves or the like edges of the ellipse into those curves, which I did on the second pass here pretty well. And just more confident line work. It wasn't very square either, but yeah. I believe he said he did do the course. There you go. Shoot. Well, heck yeah. We'll try to match his. Actually, another thing about it, he does have like example things for every homework, except for like the animal challenge or the bug challenge, even though he does have his demos. But cool. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight. We had a lot of people to stream. We had Kat, Rise, best of luck looking at your apartments, your house, which is just crazy. Heck yeah. Best of luck, Rise, Charlie and Ace, Cal, Bear, Jims, Sadie. I already said Cat. Bear, Jim, Sadie, Cats, Rise, Charlie and Ace, Cal. I think that's everybody. Yeah. Cool. So if I did forget anyone's name, I do apologize. And thank you to anybody who's watching this in the past who didn't say anything, or the present, or the future with VOD. You weird VOD watchers, you. Once again, thank you all for joining us tonight, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Oh, wait, no. We're not streaming tomorrow. No Wednesday stream. We'll be streaming next, probably on Thursday. Bye for now. See you guys.